Well, they are the menace on our roads we all know as hoons, and tonight we've invited them into our studio to compare their side of the story with that of the people who try to keep them under control, the police. Martin King with this special report.
That driver is going to get real. He did nothing to deserve it, and then go down the road and go do a burnout.
Because he's been rude to you and put the defect notice, then they're going to go down the road speeding off. Why?
Good evening, everybody, and thank you for joining this most important debate. Who in this room would consider themselves to be a hoon? Nobody, okay. If you're not hoons, how many people here are car enthusiasts? Have you ever committed a hoon offence?
In my younger years, yes, I have.
So you're an ex-hoon?
Yes.
Has anybody here been convicted of speeding?
Yes.
What speed were you doing?
196.
196 k's in a
100 zone.
Senior Sergeant Jeff Smith, what would you think of that?
I think we're nearly leaving the area of being a hoon and getting into the area of being a criminal.
If anybody's got any doubt, have a look at this.
Mitchell left home at 7:30 that night. It was a 80 zone, and on impact I think it was 126. 1 minute he's here and the next minute, you know, he's not.
Andrea Canduff, that was your son, Mitchell,
That's right.
who died?
Correct, yeah.
And Kelsey, your brother. It's your birthday today.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
What does it mean in the context of your brother being killed 5 years ago, your birthday?
I still wish he was here. Like, it doesn't feel the same without him. Like, why shouldn't I be able to spend my 17th birthday with my older brother?
You young fellas have done enormous speeds. Brett, what was your speed?
240 kilometres in a 100 zone.
Ashamed?
Yes. Like, people need to realise how valuable their licence is to them and what can go wrong in an instant, in a millisecond.
How many of your friends have been killed or injured in car accidents?
I've had a few.
You've had a few?
Oh, one or two, yeah.
Killed?
Yeah.
What about you, Brett?
Had about 3 dead.
3 killed?
Yep, and about, 7 injured.
I've had a couple injured.
Yeah, a couple injured.
I had a mate who drove a couple of people and killed everyone except himself. Yeah. And that was stupid.
Brett, when did you change? When did you become an ex-hoon?
When I was 20 years old. I'm currently 21, I'm 22 this year. My last hooning was in 2010. I had an accident, I paid the price.
We've got that accident, let's have a look at that. Thing is, Brett, you didn't pay the price. Well, you pranged your car. What happened because of that?
I will end up losing my licence, my car taken off me, and I'll end up with a big fine, and I'll have to start from scratch with a car and a way to work.
You could have killed somebody.
Yes, I could have.
Senior Sergeant Jason McGregor from the Highway Patrol. What have you seen on the roads?
We go to the car accidents. We go and tell people that their loved ones have been killed. So it is all personal for us.
It's called a death knock.
Certainly, yeah. I've done those at 3 o'clock in the morning, and certainly you don't want to be the one receiving the message, but you don't want to be the one giving the message either, because it's the worst feeling ever.
Well, Sandy Ray, you're a psychologist. What is the reason young men gather together, and young women, to watch each other perform?
What underlies a lot of this behaviour is the need to belong to a group. The larger the number of bystanders and participants, the more risky their behaviour becomes, the more disinhibited their behaviour becomes, and again, it heightens their daredevil approach.
Fellas, is that right?
We go there to socialise, and then we get the police come up, say to us, leave or get defected. By the time they tell us that, they've already copped 15 cars with a yellow sticker.
As soon as yourself or another highway patrol sees us, as he said, we're sitting there, they target the hoon, they see all of us around and go, all right, because you're all sitting there, we're going to defect you. We've sat there and we're doing nothing wrong, engine cold, not doing anything wrong, and they say, right.
Your car has failed a roadworthy inspection by a police officer, you get a defect notice. You might call it harassment, but it's us doing our job.
Yeah.
But if you've done nothing wrong and your car's legal, then what's the problem?
If people make dumb choices and want to race on streets, we know it's illegal, it's irresponsible, and you're going to get charged and have your car confiscated. There are events that are available for people to go to. Car clubs.
Events are only once a month.
Well, I can tell you now, there's racetracks all around Australia. You've got drag strips and things. You can take up competitive motorsport.
Are you willing to travel around Australia every Friday to drive your car?
So you're saying it's okay to race on the street?
I'm not saying it's okay. No, it's not okay, but why hasn't something been done?
Well, you do have a choice.
It's not because you want to be denied of enjoying your motor vehicle or with your mates, but to see that you don't become a statistic like my son.
Your son did become a statistic. He was 25?
Yes. He had a serious history of repeat road traffic offending. He was I was listening to what you were saying about being a car enthusiast, and I thought about that terminology, and I thought, I bet you my son Ben would have used that terminology for himself. But really what he was a young man taking far too many risks on the roads. His driver history reflected that. And we tried so hard as parents to try and make a difference.
I've taken my anger out on the roads before.
You've taken your anger out on the roads.
Like,
why are you angry?
Oh, just stuff that's happened, like with mates and stuff. I've just jumped in my car and just gone out and done burnouts. Just, speed around like back streets and stuff, Nothing.
Speed around back streets. And do you think, bloody hell, I might kill someone?
Yeah.
You do?
Yep.
But you still do it?
Oh, after I do it.
It's more after it.
Yeah.
Well, I've been down to the streets of Cranbourne and I spoke to some of the young fellas in Cranbourne, so let's see that. What's the fastest you've got to?
Fastest I've got to personally? Probably about 200.
200 k's?
Most people speed.
Why?
Probably to get to their place faster, I guess.
What sort of speeds would your mates do?
Well, my mate's done probably 180 k's in a 80 zone. Quickest would be about 150.
In a
100 zone. 220.
You've done 220 k's?
220, 210.
What if you kill someone at 220 k's?
Then it's my responsibility.
Kelsey, what do you think of that?
What I don't understand is you guys say that anger, if you've got anger, is it okay for you to put someone else's life in risk?
I think there's a real illusion of invulnerability going on with these speeding drivers. They think they are invincible and they think they're invulnerable to the consequences of what we're witnessing here tonight.
Speeding causes an endorphin, a sense of satisfaction for them, for getting, watching the needle go past the speed limit and keep on ticking. They don't think about it at the time.
And that's my point. It's a sense of it's an illusion and a delusion of invincibility and invulnerability. You don't realise the consequences of what you're doing.
You don't think you're invincible. I've had a mate that wrapped himself around a pole at 180. Why? Because it just took 1 millisecond.
If you don't think you're invincible, why do you keep doing it then?
Some people just make the thrill. The sense of satisfaction. But then, over time you realise what you're doing, and then you just go, look, I got to knock it off.
Well, Daniel, you said for the thrill.
It's like if you're riding a motorbike, what do you want to do? Go as quick as you can. It's just something that happened.
You're right, what Sandy was saying there before about the whole aspect of mentality of people there, this hoon mentality. Pretty much it starts with the mobile phone, with people saying, hey, turn up and just watch. Just watching is encouraging more people to come and do it.
Drivers feel threatened and not cooperation. If you've got a policeman coming up to you and, as you said before, approaching you saying, look, if you don't leave here in 10 minutes, we're going to defect your car.
Do you think the police do pick on you?
Yeah, they definitely target P-platers.
And they go for the boys over the girls.
I make no apologies for that. You're saying you're being harassed and talking about the problems. What do you think the solution is for the police? What would you like the police to do?
Cooperate.
Instead of coming there with a badge and saying, get out of here or we're going to...
But we're there all the time. We go to the car accidents. We see all the bad stuff, and we're just sick of it.
Why do you need Jason and me to be nice to you? Why don't you just, to make you obey the road rules that 99.9% of the community obey? Why do we have to walk around holding your hand and putting our arm around you and giving you a hug?
The driver won't be a smart ass to you guys if you've got a nice attitude to us. If we've done the wrong thing, that's understandable. But if it's just for a random pullover, and some guy gets out and goes, give me your registration, and it's just going to slap him with a sticker, that driver is going to get real because he did nothing to deserve it, and then go down the road and go do a burnout.
Because he's been rude to you and put the defect notice, then you're going to go down. Then they're going to go down the road, speeding off. Why? Why is that the solution to your anger?
You're not going to go out and go punch and kick air, because you're going to have people driving past you going, what the hell are you doing?
So you jump in the car and...
You need something physical to do. You're not going to walk up to the pedestrian and just go...
But isn't that the problem?
Yes, this is the problem. With it's not everyone on that road will drive angry. It's just it's a handful. A handful that will take their anger out on the road. Not everyone will. So this is why people got to stop labelling us as hoons.
You have absolutely no idea of the possibilities, what can happen. When one person dies, there's 100 people with this ripple effect. It's like if I get a gun licence, I go to a gun range and shoot it. If you've got a car, go to a car.
That's what we're saying. Go somewhere where we can do it legally. A racetrack is legally, not on...
Well, why do it on the roads then?
Well, people are doing it because there's nowhere else to do it.
There's nowhere local to go.
You know, it's not just about you. It's about everybody else on the roads as well.
We know that for a whole range of drug taking, drug abuse, self-harm, they don't understand what the consequences of their action. It's a fundamental psychological characteristic of youth.
They're driving and they're driving alone.
Maybe last word, Kelsey.
Think before you get into a car. Think about your mates that you lost. What do you achieve by putting your foot down if you're angry or whatever? Just think before you do your actions, because every action has a consequence.
Well said. And I think everybody would agree with that. Am I right?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Gosh, you listen to some of those views and you wonder how on earth a solution is really going to be found. We'd like to know what you think, though. Let us know on Facebook or have your say on Twitter.